I believe my son George was falsely accused and wrongfully convicted of molesting his stepdaughter. George had a very good relationship with Amanda's daughter. He treated her like she was his own daughter. George had said that he and Amanda had talked about a divorce.
I had a bad feeling about everything, that something was going to happen, and it did. She had to make him look worse than she was.
Amanda's ultimate goal in this situation was to get custody of our grandson. We immediately suspected that Amanda had something to do with encouraging her daughter to say these things about him. Her goal seemed pretty apparent, that she wanted to get custody of both children. George had told her over my dead body. So I think she achieved her goal. She got total control. She got George out of her life, and George is still on the hook to pay child support even though he's in prison.
The police, I felt from the very beginning, just went with, we think you're guilty, and he was treated as guilty until proven innocent.
When George was found guilty, we were shocked. We felt that there was a ton of reasonable doubt. We had a fight from the very beginning, from his arrest with the police. We're basically saying, well, we're going to find all kinds of DNA evidence. They didn't find anything. There was zero DNA evidence on her body anywhere of any sort.
I believe that George is innocent of everything he was charged with every ounce of my heart and soul.
My son George could never have done the things he was accused of and convicted of. It's totally against his nature. He's a very nice, easygoing person and would never do anything to harm a child at all.
We've been talking to Amanda, Harold, Cindy, and Frida, who say their family was ripped apart over a year ago when an allegation of sexual abuse was made by Amanda's 7-year-old daughter against Harold and Cindy's son, George. Now, George is currently incarcerated on a life sentence after being recently convicted on 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault and 2 counts of indecent liberties with a child. I want to remind everyone we are talking about serious sexual allegations. This is not a show for children. Why is he in jail for life?
Because he was falsely accused and wrongfully convicted. There was a pattern of behavior leading up to this that culminated in events on 1 October. It was actually the second time she tried to commit suicide. She just said she only tried to do it once. There's 3 police reports, one for a fight, the second for the first suicide attempt when he took a knife away from her and was holding her down on the couch. The third time was when she had a house full of kids, babysitting kids. She got drunk, he got home, she took a knife, and again claimed she was going to commit suicide. So, and then before that, she lied again. She was talking to 2 different sergeants in his group, basically saying that he beat her and left marks on her when none of that happened. He didn't even touch her at all. And they saw it the very next day that nothing happened. So by the time we get to this event in October, she's making these false statements. She says, I'm going to take both kids and I'm going to leave. Well, she ended up buying bus tickets for her and her daughter and ended up staying. And the very next day, we're talking to him about, you need to get out of this relationship. Things have just gone too far. And it's going to not be good for the kids. And you just need to end it. So we said, you need to start doing something about it. The very next day, on October 2nd, he took her to get a psychological evaluation. They set an appointment for the end of the month, 31 October. So, and then we said, let's move things forward. And they said, well, we're talking. Mandan, he said, we talked about what we're going to do and that she would keep her daughter and that I would hold Brexton and we would work out an arrangement under Kansas law. Not necessarily one person has custody or the other. So we thought, okay, things are starting to go that way.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.